Hello, everyone. Storm of the century in the Black Sea. A hurricane has hit the western coast of Crimea. Wind gusts up to 40 meters per second. And wave heights at peak times were as high as 9 meters. The consequences of the rampant elements correspond to the level of impact. Only in the Crimea, the megastorm left nearly 500,000 residents. Advisor to the head of the Republic Oleg Kryukov said that the most affected areas are the Black Sea, Saksky, Belagorsky, Simferopol, and Oktyabrski. The storm was so fierce that the Black Sea overflowed its banks, and in some places flooded the road Simferopol-Evpatoria. Traffic between Sochi and Yevpatoria had to be temporarily restricted. Among other things, strong winds tore off dozens of roofs. Houses, fell more than 100 trees. There are breaks of power lines. Not without victims. According to the latest data, their number has increased to 7. 40 houses were blocked in the village of Heroevsko. This was reported in the administration of Kerch. In Evpatoria, flooded houses and yards near the coast. From flooded dwellings, evacuate 150 residents. Another under 100 people were taken out of the hotel. By the way, the resort infrastructure is damaged in other areas of the Crimea. On the peninsula, created an operational headquarters, as well as equipped temporary accommodation centers. Among other things, Monday in the Crimea, because of the bad weather, was announced a non-working day. The storm made a mess of things in Krasnodar region. There the hurricane also tore off roofs and felled trees. Train traffic had to be delayed because of the bad weather. And near Anapa, a Belizean-flagged dry cargo ship ran aground. According to Rosmorikflot, the Blue Shark ship has a crew of 21 people on board. Of 21 people, they are citizens of Syria, India, and Egypt. Now specialists are developing a plan of rescue and rescue operation. For the rescue operation. Before that, the storm made a mess in Turkey. The Aegean and Mediterranean seas went out of the shores. Izmir and Antalya flooded. The city sewers couldn't handle the amount of rainfall. The rainfall and the water poured onto the roads. It flooded coastal areas, roads, gardens, homes, and stores. People used inflatable boats. Inflatable boats. It is noted that the height of the waves on the coast reached several meters high. All beaches are now temporarily closed to the public. So far, there is no exact information about casualties or fatalities. There is no. Rescuers are trying with all their might to pump out the water. Major highways are temporarily closed, and there are reports of dozens of flights canceled and delayed. Locals are being asked to postpone long-distance travel and to prepare for possible evacuations as the bad weather will linger in Turkey until the middle of the week. And this was the situation near Odessa the day before. The region was hit by a snowstorm. Due to strong winds and snowfall, more than 130 settlements were left without power. There was also an emergency shutdown of equipment at one of the high-voltage substations in Odessa. 14,000 customers were temporarily without electricity in the Kyiv district of the city. Now power engineers are working in a reinforced mode and are trying to bring light and heat back to homes. And these are the images from Romania. There about 400 settlements were left without electricity because of bad weather. all because of snowstorms and strong wind. The problem is that so far the elements have not subsided, which is preventing the repairmen to get to work. The electricians are waiting for the weather conditions to improve in order to restore power. It is not reported whether there are casualties. Snowfall has also hit Moldova. More than 100 settlements in the central and southern regions of the Republic were blacked out. Of the Republic were de-energized. Due to the snowstorm, settlements and neighborhoods were covered with snow. The bad weather also affected the work of the Border Guard Service. The work of its facilities had to be adjusted. To adjust the work of its facilities, the Cahol-Olenka checkpoint on the border with Romania was temporarily closed. With Romania, difficulties also arose with the work of the checkpoint Palenka on the border with Ukraine. The work of public transportation was disrupted. And this is Belgium, where the first snow has fallen. The other day, temperatures plummeted in the region, and the streets are covered with white flakes. All motorists are asked to be careful on the roads and obey the speed limit. It is noted that schools and universities are operating in the same mode. There are no delays in the schedule of railroads, and air flights are not delayed. The last time a strong snowstorm hit Belgium, this spring. Then the police declared an alert mode on the roads. Meanwhile, in India, in the state of Uttarakhand, to rescue construction workers from a collapsed tunnel. As explained by local authorities, the drilling machine broke down. For now, rescuers are removing the rubble by hand. It is expected that in the near future they will bring them new equipment. The disaster occurred on November 12th, when a landslide collapsed part of a 5-kilometer-long underground tunnel. The workers were building. The obstacle appeared about 200 meters from the entrance. It's not easy to get the workers out of the tunnel because construction in mountainous terrain. Nevertheless, the rescuers have managed to get a supply oxygen to the construction workers through a small diameter pipe. After a while, the workers were given dry rations and later hot meals. Of rice and lentils. Arsen Vardanian from Armenia came up with the idea as an unusual way to recycle plastic. In 2013, he started collecting lids and then creating a mosaics out of them. The idea has grown so much that now plastic mosaics can be found in Spain and the United States. According to Arsen, the process of creating such work is extremely painstaking. First, we collect a picture as a draft. After you put the picture together on the computer, it's all ready. It's easy to see what colors you have, what you need to add, what size and volume you can get. Then you have to fix, cut, and hole punch the elements. Then you separate everything by color, or arrange it by sizes and places. Now the artist wants to leave a creative trace in his homeland. Arsen dreams of turning an Armenian village into a creative space where people can study and learn about the art of art. Space where people will be able to study and take pictures with plastic panels. Let's return to Pretorm of Vitoria. The other day they're finished collecting, perhaps, the most unusual harvest, pink salt. First, the harvester cuts the layer of salt, then it goes into the cars on a belt. And then the cargo is taken to a special area for storage. This raw material, experts say, is suitable for making bath salt and food salt. As the scientists explain, the salt is colored pink because of rising air temperatures. More specifically because of the algae Dunaliella salina, which in the hottest months it releases a protective response to the ultra-salty pool water as a protective response of beta-carotene. Friends, first of all, strengthen resilience to all those who have been affected by this storm. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Everything's gonna get better. Just a couple of questions. Do you think it's possible to be prepared? To prepare for this kind of storm, or is Mother Nature? Nature just shows who is the master on Earth, and perhaps only humble acceptance and maximum preparation in order to protect our lives? Do you think that this year the number of cataclysmic events have increased? We're talking about off-season events, or is that a misperception? And it's business as usual? Share your opinions in the comments. Peace and goodwill to you and your families, and of course, take care yourselves and our common home, our planet, always remaining people with a capital letter.